It's alright, don't cut, we'll try again. Hi guys, my name is Ash and I am Project Perfection's social media person, and I'm very excited for today's product because I've seen so much work and weirdness go into it, especially because they've made the very bold design choice of having a cartoon rabbit's head on the IEM faceplate, and also because there are lots of very pretty stickers inside the packaging, including this one. Yeah, so without further ado, we're covering FiR Audio's Omnivorous Rabbit, the 5x5. FiR Audio may be a newish name on the audio scene, but they're not at all unknown. After the successful release of the M series last year, FiR Audio is tying this year up with the release of the 5x5. The 5x5 contains 5 drivers, 4 balanced armature drivers, 2 mids, 1 high, and 1 ultra high, as well as a dynamic driver for FiR Audio's signature natural bass. The package comes with a cylindrical case with 4 additional pairs of ear tips and a brush for hygiene. The IEMs are attached to FiR Audio's Specimen 25 cable and terminates in a 2.5 balance plug. It's important to know that the 5x5 differs from FiR Audio's current flagship, the M5, in that it does not have an electrostatic tweeter, which is also the reason it is available for just a fraction of the M5's price. USD 999 or SGD 1399. Yeah, I think actually that's a couple of fractions, but it's still cheaper. It's pointless to do a video about any of FiR Audio's IEMs without mentioning its tech, and the 5x5 is no exception. The 5x5 ties most of FiR Audio's signature technologies together into a mechanism it calls the sound reactor, which is basically a manifold chamber, which is a large pipe with multiple openings into which the various drivers feed. Mid and low frequencies travel through this chamber where they develop in a natural, non-muffled way before being delivered to your ear via nozzle. The 5x5 also contains a version of FiR Audio's pressure release system called the Atom Super Plus. This is an Atom module that has been specially 3D custom printed for the 5x5. It gives the listener up to 20 decibels of isolation while also providing you the natural, open sort of listening experience that people have come to relate with FiR Audio's earphones. Now, all of this is contained within an aluminum shell with a Delrin faceplate. Delrin is a super duper heavy duty thermoplastic that is strong enough to replace metal in plenty of technical applications. I think I'll have some of the implementations around me right now. Fit-wise, it's a pretty standard IEM shape. Personally, it's a bit large for my ears with a nozzle that's a tad too long, but that's a pretty common issue for me. My concha is a little bit smaller than the average audiophiles. The 5x5 is what I'll call an extreme omnivore because it eats everything you throw at it, like all the genres. One thing it does extremely well is that it walks the balance between natural and expressive, always seeming to know which side to lean to for maximum effect. Sound-wise, it has full mids with just a tinge of warmth. It has a very tight, controlled bass that is also very textured and very, very speedy. And it also has extremely natural, airy highs that play a little bit safe by tamping down some of the sparkle that you would normally hear in more studio standard or more top-of-the-line monitors. Now I know that this all sounds pretty normal, but one thing that really stands out to me is the 5x5's ability to handle complex layered pieces. Now the 5x5 may be considered a mid-range earphone, but when you use it to play complex pieces, you can really hear that the vocals and instrumentals are in the places that they are supposed to be, appropriately contrasted against one another. So here's a slightly nitpicky con, and that is all these layering and imaging and soundstage strengths would have really been played up a lot more if the 5x5 had that much more resolution. But then that would sort of increase its price and also defeat its purpose as a pair of earphones you could pick up and plug in and listen to at any time. Also, another thing is that this one really isn't one for the bass hits. For one, the bass doesn't even go that deep, and it does get a tiny bit muddy when you're listening to like the heaviest of metal. All in all, the 5x5 is forgiving, it's fun, it punches way above its price, and is perfect in that it's just technical enough for the people who want something a little bit more resolved and a little bit closer to a classic studio monitor setup. So the 5x5 is rolling out worldwide as we speak. If you're located in Singapore, Project Perfection is having a couple of little listening sessions that you can join. Details in the description. Check out our social media there as well and follow if you'd like. If you're down, you can go back to the video and take a shot every time I mention the word 5. I've even included a handy little counter here. So go ahead and knock yourself out. Merry Christmas!